Make the most out of your time. That's something that touches a place inside of my heart so deeply. And the worst thing I could hear myself say to myself is that I wasted my time. And it feels like suffocating. Like, come on, this needs to go quicker. I need to be able to inspire more people in a short amount of time. I don't have so much time. And this is a story that is very present with me. The story of the time is running. The time is slipping through my fingers and I need to make the most out of this time. So sometimes there's just a lot of resistance in my entire body, and that tells me actually now is not the moment to push. Now is not the moment to hustle, even if you're connected to like a larger vision or you want to get there or achieve this or share that with the world. Sometimes it's not the right thing to do. Welcome to today's Stream of Consciousness episode. I'm excited to be sharing my thoughts and perspective on the topic of when to push, when to flow, finding the balance between hustle and trust. I'm especially looking forward to this episode because I'm currently going through the process, and I wanted to share that with you and invite you into my inner world. So let's get started. As in all other podcast episodes of this format, Stream of Consciousness, there's nothing as a script that I prepared, because my intention is to share with you in the most authentic way what's going on inside of me, what's alive for me, and be practicing, living my essence and sharing, speaking my inner truth, transparently and openly. All right, this topic of finding the balance between hustle and trust, when to push, when to flow, is something that is very, very, very present with me right now. Because I have this huge longing to share my experiences and everything that I have with the world in order to make a huge contribution. My longing is to contribute to people like you to live your essence in the most free way that feels balanced, open, deep, nourishing, connected, where you feel that your life is just like opening up, flourishing like a flower. And where you can also find yourself moving through the winds of change, through the different seasons of life and moments where you can come back to balance and you have the skills and everything that you need, that you can just like live your essence. So there's this huge longing that I have. I want to share this with the world. I want that everyone knows about it because I want for everyone to thrive. I believe that if all of us, we learn to develop these skills of self-awareness, of understanding what's going on inside of us, understanding our stories, being able to understand our bodily signals, our emotions, and to move with them swiftly, I believe so deeply that we would be living in such an amazing, beautiful world. That's why I have this strong longing. So I feel that I'm being pulled towards something. And at the same time, I feel and experience myself every now and then, especially in these past times, that I'm also wanting to accelerate this process. And there I find myself in a pushing movement. I'm like, come on, this needs to go quicker. I need to be able to inspire more people in a short amount of time. I don't have so much time. And this is a story that is very present with me. The story of the time is running. The time is slipping through my fingers. And I need to make the most out of this time. So this is something that's been driving me my entire life. Like, make the most out of your time. That's something that touches a place inside of my heart so deeply. And the worst thing I could hear myself say to myself is that I wasted my time. And it feels like suffocating. It feels like, oh my God, it feels like the end. It feels so terrible. And there are so many things that I could share about that. So one part is that I have this thought that I want to make the best out of my time because I want to make the most out of these beautiful gifts that I received in my life. This gift of, in this moment, feeling healthy. This gift of having entered this planet in a place where I feel safety around me, where I grew up with a family that really supported me, where I feel so much love and support, and where I got to learn so many skills. So I see all this privilege that I got, and I'm deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for that. And I don't take it for granted at all. I take it, yeah, even seriously, in a way that, yeah, it would just break my heart to know that I wasted, maybe quote unquote, maybe not, still trying to figure that out, this potential. Because I believe that all of us, we have our unique essence, and we are one puzzle piece in this larger puzzle of this world, of this universe, of Anna's life. Sometimes happens. Now I just got my internet cut and shut off, so now I'm back again 5 minutes later. And that's how life works. So I find myself often in this flow. I jump into something with so much joy and passion and just give all my heart and go for what I want to go. And then life happens and something else comes in between. So actually, I want to take this as a moment to share something which I find very valuable and very important. As much as we care for what we want to bring in the world, I'm also still learning, and I invite you onto this learning journey as well. What the relationship is that I am having with, for example, outcomes, with success, with contribution, my relationship to failure, my relationship to being able to control all these outcomes, my relationship to learning and feeling competent and being able to share what I want to share with the world. So this is all for me very, very important, and equally important as what I want to bring out into the world. So maybe this is even like a little inspiring thought in the middle, and maybe you thought like, whoa, now he's talking about this. It's because the internet just got cut off, but now I'm back again. So yes, I was sharing before that I have this huge longing to contribute to the world where we humans can meet in a way that feels more connected, more open, with more trust, and more self-compassion. So this is something that I really want to bring into the world. And then in some moments, I find myself, being able to listen, being open and feeling when a pull comes and life pulls me into a direction, basically saying, yes, John, you need to be here right now, and this is what you need to create in this very moment. And that feels like a pull. And sometimes I also find myself pushing because I want this so badly. Like, I want so badly for humanity to meet, with openness, curiosity, love, connection, compassion. I want this so badly that I feel agitated and restless sometimes when I don't feel that I'm having a clear pull from the universe, so to say, saying, now you need to go here, now you need to do this. Sometimes it actually sends messages like, probably you should rest. And at the same time, that's often difficult for me to take because I wanted so badly this outcome for myself, for humanity, for my friends, for family relationships. And there I find that I'm, crossing this line of just listening and flowing, and that I can enter sometimes into a state of more like pushing and hustling, and this needs to happen right now, which comes for me also with density, with heaviness, and a state of more like contracted, focused, I need to get this done state. And why am I sharing this? Because for me, authenticity is one of the most important values to me. And I want to share with you that I'm not a perfect guy. That doesn't exist. I'm sharing with you that I'm a human, and I want to invite you onto your journey of self-discovery, that you can find your way of living, and that you might feel inspired by hearing my story, my experience, and also my perspectives on how we can come more into a state of listening, flowing, and trusting. And for me, how I find the state of listening, flowing, and trusting, there are also a couple of things that I like to do, or ways how I experience myself that support me in knowing now I'm on it. For example, if I feel, if I sit down and meditate, that's what I do every morning for like 10 minutes. I just sit down and meditate, and then I do a little body scan, observe my entire body, bodily emotions, sensations, emotions, my thoughts. And then often there's some thought processes that come with the bodily sensation or emotions of joy and longing. For example, yes, I want to get up and go to record this podcast episode because I can't wait to share with the world what I'm experiencing right now to inspire other people. And there I feel it comes from a place of pull. I can't wait until. It's like this very pleasant sensation. And then I observe other thought streams which which I can sense, like my bodily sensation, the energy is more in my head. And it's like, I think it should be a good idea to do this and that. And sometimes it really makes sense to follow these thoughts. For example, doing my text declaration. It's nothing that I just get up in the morning like, I can't wait to do my text declaration. But it's something that I just need to do. Therefore, just wanted to highlight that, because I don't want to say that everything that comes from a place of it makes sense to do this and that is wrong. No, not at all. I think it's very good and healthy and positive. And I think it's also a great skill and quality that you can just do things even if you don't feel like doing them. I think it's a great quality. And at the same time, I don't want to experience myself constantly in this state of just like, I need to do this, I should do this, and pushing and pushing and pushing. So when I observe these thought processes in my mind, first of all, I just observe them. I note them with curiosity, be like, interesting. And interesting that this is currently the majority of my thoughts in my mind. It would be a good idea too. I don't feel like, but I should better do this now. It's like meeting this with curiosity. And then I love to find a balance and mainly try to follow the I can't wait to do this energy. So this sometimes comes for me in meditation. And this also often comes to me when just going for a walk, actually. When going for a walk, often the first couple of thoughts are more like doing or organizational mode. And then after walking for a couple of minutes, this relaxes. My monkey mind calms down, and what's more or alive on a deeper level inside of me comes to surface. And then I try to follow that. And I can also feel when I start doing something, how much resistance there is in my entire body. So sometimes there's just a lot of resistance in my entire body. And that tells me, actually, now is not the moment to push. Now is not the moment to hustle, even if you're connected to like a larger vision, or you want to get there or achieve this or share that with the world. Sometimes it's not the right thing to do. So I check in with myself on thought, emotional, and bodily level, how much pull and joy and excitement there is, and how much resistance there is. Another example that I would like to share is I regularly do workouts. I love these high intensity trainings that just jump around like crazy, and it's so good for me because I can release a lot of energy, and my energy feels way more balanced in my entire system. And often before doing one of these workouts, I feel that my legs have like an excess of energy and I feel like this bouncing movement inside of me. But my mind is still in this point of, I don't know, I don't feel like, really, should I go now into this workout? I don't know. But my body says, yes, move, please, do something. And my mind is still questioning it. And it happens so often to me. And then I just trust my bodily experience and the experience that every time I did a workout, it was a good idea when I followed this bodily impulse. So I'm just going to do it. And in these moments, often my mind doesn't feel like doing it. But following the bodily impulses tells me, yes, that is the right thing to do. So I allow this flow of bodily impulses and information to inform me and just like to go with this flow. And there, it doesn't feel like a hustling, but like a healthy way of saying, yes, I am going to take my body seriously and I'm going to listen to it and do something good for it. So, this is a little bit the spectrum that I find often for myself: hustle, trust, pushing, flowing. And in general, I would say that I have very, very deep trust into life, into the world, into myself, and towards others. And I'm very grateful for that because I believe that a large part of that comes from how I was raised and the stories I was told and the the bodily co-regulation I received. That means like other bodies being close to me and holding me, for example, as a small child when I was afraid or scared. So I'm very grateful for a lot of that. I think that contributed to the strong foundation of trust that I experience in my day-to-day life. And if you're asking yourself right now, how can I experience more trust in my life? Then I would like to refer to this framework that Brené Brown developed. Brené Brown is a professor. She worked a lot on these topics of courage, vulnerability, and leadership, trust as well. And her framework that she developed is called braving. Braving, like brave, braving. And she says that all these ingredients of this braving framework contribute to the experience of trust. And I'm just going to go through all of them shortly. And then you have something practical as well to take from this episode with you. So B for boundaries. If you set clear boundaries, then other people can trust you clearer and you can trust yourself more and more. R is reliability. If you're reliable, if you actually say what you do, and if you're reliable and people can rely on you, that creates trust. A is when you, what was that one? Is when you hold yourself accountable. That's it. If you can hold yourself accountable, and if others can hold you accountable for what you did and say like, oh, okay, I did that. I see that was a mistake and I own it. Accountability. V, like vault, that you can keep secrets. If someone else tells you something and says, hey, please don't pass it on to someone else, and then they can trust you because you keep it for yourself. And I, integrity, living a life of integrity, act how you speak, so to say. N, being non-judgmental, don't judging others in a way that they're bad people, they're good people, they're doing something right or wrong, but just seeing them for who they are and actions for what they are. And G, the last letter, generosity. And that generosity means that you just generously assume that people do the best that they can with the best intention to the best of their abilities, given the circumstances and their experience how they've been growing up, for example. So that's the Braving model by Brené Brown that supports the development of trust. So maybe this supports you in finding a balance between hustling and trusting, and also this balance between pushing and flowing. And I really invite you that you find your own authentic way, how to find balance and movement between these various states and qualities. So I hope this episode was inspiring for you. This episode on when to push, when to flow, finding balance between hustle and trust. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the next episode of Essence.